Ladies and gentlemen, you don't know what brought you here today. Maybe you're tired, maybe you're frustrated, maybe you're wondering what's behind this, and this is all that time. It's just nothing but a four-line machine. It's making things worse. That's why I've got news for you. This is not the end of your story. Because today, right now, we're going to unlock sank truths from one of the greatest motivational voices of our time, the man who went from being labeled educatable, mentally retarded, to becoming a voice that shook the world, the one and only Les Brown. These are not just words. These are life-changing principles. And if you hear them, feel them, live them, your life will never be the same again. So buckle up, because it's your time.
You gotta be hungry. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. It's not over until you win. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. You gotta be hungry. Those 4 words are more than just a catchphrase. They are a mindset, a philosophy, and a way of life. When Les Brown says you gotta be hungry, he's not talking about food. He's talking about that inner fire, that unshakable desire, that relentless drive to pursue something greater than your current circumstances. It's that hunger that makes people get up when they've been knocked down. It's that hunger that keeps you moving forward when every part of your life tells you to stop. Hunger is the fuel that powers every dreamer, every achiever, every world changer. Without it, talent is wasted, intelligence sits idle, potential goes untapped. Les Brown knew this firsthand. He didn't grow up with a silver spoon. In fact, he was labeled as educable, mentally retarded, and written off by the school system. But he was hungry, hungry to prove them wrong, hungry to be somebody, hungry to break through the walls that were placed around him by other people's limitations. That hunger gave him the strength to rise up, to push beyond rejection, and to claim his voice in the world. Being hungry means you're not satisfied with average, you're not content with just surviving. You want to thrive, you want to grow, you want to build a life that makes you feel alive. You're not waiting for the perfect moment. You're not waiting for permission. You are moving with urgency, with focus, and with heart. Because deep inside, you know that what you want won't just come to you. You have to go get it. People who are hungry don't make excuses. They make moves. They don't sit around blaming the economy, their background, or their circumstances. They find a way. Hunger forces you to be creative. It forces you to take risks. It pulls something out of you that comfort never will. Because hunger and comfort can't live in the same house. One of them has to go. Think about the times in your life when you were really hungry for something. Maybe it was a job, maybe it was an opportunity, maybe it was a fresh start. Remember how determined you were, how clear your vision became. That wasn't luck, that was hunger showing you who you really are. That's what Les Brown is telling us. But we all have greatness inside of us, but hunger is what unlocks it. When you're hungry, failure doesn't stop you. It fuels you. Rejection doesn't break you. It builds you. Obstacles don't scare you. They shape you. Because when you're hungry, you're willing to do what others won't, to have what others don't. You're willing to wake up early, stay up late, study harder, train longer, speak louder, and keep showing up when everyone else has given up. Les Brown isn't just talking about success. He's talking about survival with purpose. Living life on your terms, living full and dying empty. That kind of life only comes when you're hungry. Hungry for knowledge, hungry for growth, hungry for the life you know deep down you were meant to live. Most people aren't living their dreams because they've lost their hunger. They've gotten too comfortable. They've settled. But you weren't born to settle. You were born to rise. Hunger is what reminds you of that. You can't teach hunger, you can't fake hunger. It comes from within. It comes from a vision so clear that it makes the pain of staying the same greater than the fear of change. Hunger is what makes you pick up that phone one more time, send out that resume again, record that video even if no one watched the last one. Hunger keeps you alive inside. Hunger reminds you that you've got more in you than you've been showing the world. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. That statement, powerful and liberating, is one of Les Brown's most defining truths. Too often, people live their lives within the limits of what others think is possible for them. They allow other people's judgments, labels, and criticisms to shape their identity. But the reality is, you are not what someone else says you are. You are what you choose to become. The moment you accept someone's negative opinion as your truth, you give them the power to control your future. Les Brown was told he was educable, mentally retarded. That label could have defined his life. He could have believed it, embraced it, and let it limit him. But he didn't. He refused to let someone else's opinion become his prison. And neither should you. Just because someone doesn't see your potential doesn't mean it's not there. Just because someone doubts your abilities doesn't mean you can't win. People will project their own fears, insecurities, and failures onto you. That's not your burden to carry. People will tell you what you can't do based on what they can't do. They'll try to place you in a box because boxes are easier to manage. But you weren't born to fit into someone else's box. You were born to break it. And if you're not careful, their limited perspective will shrink your dream. The opinions of others are not your reality. They are reflections of their own beliefs. And you have the power to choose what you accept and what you reject. Just because someone says you're not smart enough, experienced enough, attractive enough, talented enough, that doesn't make it true. What matters most is what you say about yourself. What you believe about your own value, your own worth, your own possibility. Belief is powerful. If you believe in yourself, even just a little, it can start a fire. But if you believe in someone else's negative judgment, that fire will die before it ever really burns. Les Brown teaches that we must protect our minds like we protect our homes. If someone came to your door with a bag of trash, you wouldn't let them dump it in your living room. So why let someone dump trash into your mind? Your life will rise or fall based on the story you believe about yourself. If you want to rise, you must rewrite the narrative. You have to challenge those old voices. Those voices that told you you're not good enough, not strong enough, not worthy. You have to replace them with new voices. Your voice saying, I can, I will, I must. The world is full of people who were told they'd never make it. People who were doubted, dismissed, and overlooked, but they made it. Not because of what others thought, but in spite of it. They chose to believe in something bigger. They chose to listen to the voice inside them. You get to decide how your story goes. Every time you take a step toward your dream, you're rejecting someone's small opinion and stepping into your bigger purpose. It doesn't matter if people don't see it. It doesn't matter if they laugh, criticize, or ignore you. What matters is that you see it. You feel it. You're willing to fight for it. Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. This phrase isn't just a catchy saying. It's a profound lesson about the power of aiming high and daring to dream bigger than what seems possible. Les Brown's message here reminds us that setting ambitious goals is not about guaranteeing success in a traditional sense, but about stretching ourselves beyond our comfort zones and expanding our horizons. When you aim high, even if you don't reach the exact target, the journey itself will take you to places you never imagined. Too many people set their goals too low because they're afraid to fail. They settle for what feels safe and achievable rather than risking disappointment by reaching for something extraordinary. But Les Brown challenges us to think differently. He encourages us to be bold, to embrace the unknown, and to understand that the act of aiming high is itself a victory. Because when you set your sights on the moon, you push yourself further, learn more, and grow stronger. The truth is, the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is often the size of their dreams. People with big dreams have something powerful inside them. Vision. Vision that drives their actions, fuels their persistence, and keeps them going even when obstacles arise. When you aim for something big, you're also saying that you believe in your ability to grow into that dream. You're telling yourself that your current limitations don't define you. Shooting for the moon means embracing failure as part of the process. It means understanding that falling short isn't the end, it's a step along the path. The stars you land among are the achievements, lessons, and growth that come from striving. Maybe you don't become a millionaire entrepreneur overnight, but along the way you develop skills, make connections, and discover strengths you didn't know you had. These are your stars. They shine just as brightly as the moon, and they're worth celebrating. Les Brown's life is a perfect example of this mindset. He didn't start out with all the advantages, but he dreamed big. He aimed for greatness even when the odds were against him. And though he faced setbacks and failures, he kept shooting. His story shows us that success is rarely a straight line. It's about resilience, courage, and the willingness to keep aiming high no matter what. When you shoot for the moon, you also inspire others around you. Your courage to dream big becomes a beacon for those who might be stuck in small thinking. You show them what's possible when fear is pushed aside and passion takes the lead. That ripple effect can change communities, industries, even generations. On a practical level, aiming high helps you set clear priorities. It forces you to evaluate what truly matters and to focus your energy on what will move you closer to your vision. It encourages creativity because you start thinking outside the box, exploring new solutions and taking risks that others might avoid. This mindset opens doors you didn't even know existed. Of course, aiming high isn't always easy. It can be intimidating. The higher you aim, the bigger the challenge. You may face doubt from yourself and others. You might worry about failure or rejection. But Les Brown reminds us that these fears are part of the journey, not reasons to stop. In fact, they're signs that you're pushing past your limits and growing. Shooting for the moon also requires patience and perseverance. Dreams of that scale don't happen overnight. You have to be willing to put in the work, to keep going even when progress feels slow or invisible. It's about showing up every day with commitment and belief in your vision. When you adopt this mindset, you stop playing small. You stop limiting yourself by what seems easy or probable. Instead, you embrace a future full of possibility where the only limits are those you refuse to break. You give yourself permission to dream wildly, to take bold actions, and to redefine what success means for you. Les Brown's call to shoot for the moon is a call to live fully, courageously, and without apology. It's an invitation to believe that your potential is far greater than your current circumstances, and that your dreams are worthy of pursuit, no matter how big they seem. Now you've heard the truth. 5 things Les Brown said that can change your life. Remember, it all starts with hunger, the fire inside that won't let you settle. It continues when you refuse to let anyone else's opinion define who you are. It grows stronger when you shoot for the moon, daring to dream beyond what seems possible. These principles are not just words, they are a call to action. Your life is waiting for you to step up, to fight for your dreams, and to live the greatness inside you. So what will you choose? Will you stay where you are, or will you rise up and make your life a masterpiece? The choice is yours. Your time is now.